How you doing, buddy?
Hello, guys. Glad to have me on the show.
Man,
Hello.
you know what, Ralph? Let me tell you something. I'm already in love with you. You got the vest on, you got the mask on. You're my kind of guy, Ralph.
I hear you. I hear you. You know, you're not the
all
only
you're
one that
missing
can
is
be
the safety
safe.
glasses.
Other people can be safe and look safe as well.
You know what?
Yes.
You're right. It takes more than just talking it to have this look drive safe. Dave, I think you have to be born into it. Not everyone can pull the look of safety man off.
I don't know. I think everybody has the opportunity to. But you know what? Great look, good look. How are you doing this morning, and what you got going on today?
I'm doing good, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on the show. And you know, one of the things that you guys were talking about, as far as like Rick said, you know, being having his phone and texting. You know, a lot of the truck drivers, and I know that this is a fact, and you guys know it. They have the images of their family. Sometimes they drive with a picture on the windshield, on the front of the windshield, or above it of their families. Now, that in itself should tell you, hey, guess what? You know, if I'm going to grab the phone, instead of grabbing the phone to text, I'm going to look at my family and say, do I choose my family or do I choose a text? Which one is safe for me to do? So, you know, those things are very, very important as far as for family goes, to make sure that you don't do the wrong decisions to start texting and driving. That in itself, I needed to mention that. So that's part of having that wrong move and texting while driving.
I like
yes,
that.
and
Ralph.
I noticed that.
Yep, great point, and a great reminder, drive safe to all of us, to myself included on that. Even though my youngest daughter pissed me off yesterday, I still love her, and that picture is still more important than the action of texting, right? So maybe she was the reason I was texting too. I don't know. No excuses for that. Hey, Ralph, tell us a little bit about the WSO, the World Safety Organization. What does that mean, and how did you get that certification?
The World Safety Organization is basically based out of down in Missouri, and they in itself are in conjunction with South Korea. They're in conjunction with some other companies in India that go together and pretty much made up an organization of safety specialists throughout the world. Every year we meet up in September, depending on the location. Sometimes one time we had a meeting in the Philippines. Just this year we were going to have a meeting in Las Vegas to get everybody together. However, due to COVID, we're unable to do it this year, but we will have it next year. And it's a symposium, which I participated in many years. 5 years ago, I got a chance to be a speaker in California, in San Diego. And I did talk about the Panama Canal, and then I talked about what we were doing down there, what the safety implications that we were doing in Panama at the time. And at that time is when we were right in about 30 to 40% of the build. So I was able to get everybody up to date of how we were doing the job down there, which ENR attested that it was one of the largest projects on Earth. I was able to explain, you know, how many countries were involved, which it was practically almost 10 to 15 nations throughout the world. They also pretty much, we do a lot of trainings, and we're certified through the International Certification Association of Accreditation. And we try to get everybody involved. We try to get more people into it, not only in the United States, but throughout the world. We have a large, I would say the people that are in Europe, the people that are in South Africa, the people that are in actually Asia, they're getting more involved. They're learning that about our World Safety Organization, as far as, you know, getting together and making sure that everybody throughout the world is being safe. And not only that, but putting the habits into place.
Gotcha. Hey, Ralph, you and I spoke before the show, and I remember you talking about things that you have to do, right, to in safety. And we're not just talking truck driving, we're talking safety in general, protecting life. There's been some crazy things you've had to do, right, to get people to follow the safety protocols. Can you share one or maybe just one story with us, Ralph?
Yeah, well, As far as traveling down to Central America in 2008, to try to get the Panama Canal to adhere to what the safety measures are, as well as OSHA in the United States to the country of Panama. In the Panama Canal, OSHA had been present for many, many years due to the fact that the Americans lived down there. However, in the country of Panama, it was a different ballgame. So it was more of a culture aspect that had to be done. Some of the, I have many, many stories, but here's a quick one right here where, at one of the towers that I went to, since I was building some skyscrapers, we had approximately 200 to 300 workers at the site. And as I approached the site in my little car, most of the guys would start whistling, here comes the guy, let's get all our gear on, which in TAC, it helps, but they need to know themselves that to keep it on at all times. I had a couple incidents where, I found a couple guys that pretty much didn't want to comply with the safety gear, safety equipment. And basically, I did a lot of things, I cited them one time and I told them, you guys got 3 strikes. This is part of the whole safety mechanism for you guys to comply. Even the 3, even going 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strikes, and then writing them up pretty much didn't work. You don't want to get rid of the workforce. So you want to go one step further. So in general, I pretty much said, okay, look, guys, I tried. I give you guys chances. Now it comes down to the family aspect. So I pretty much got a list of the people that I knew were the culprits of breaking that safety, all the compliance that they weren't doing. And I pretty much got their family involved. Instead of them just being the people that were not complying, now I'm bringing in the family. I brought in the wives more than anything. And, I would put them outside the buildings. I have my binoculars like a normal safety guy would do. And I'd say, okay, here we are. We're looking at the building. I give the binoculars to some of the wives. And I say, hey, look up in the building. What do you see? See that? Is that your husband up there? Yeah. What do you see? He doesn't have his hard hat or he doesn't have his goggles on. So these things really, really hit home when the guys go back to the house and then their wives confront them, So here they are. I'm the guy that's breaking the law. This guy right here is telling me that I'm doing wrong. But now I have to go home to my wife and tell me that I'm wrong.
Yeah. He's done.
Having this guy do it.
He's wearing it tomorrow, I guarantee you.
That's correct. That is correct. Yes.
And shows,
some of these measures, these are the things that we have to do to make sure that these guys comply.
You know what? It's neat to hear you say that, Ralph. You talked about, texting and driving, and about people having the picture of their family on, making safety personal, because I think the more we make safety personal and make it personal to you, right? The person on the road, the person on the skyscraper, man, the more that they're going to comply if it's personal, if it means that I am going to lose my maybe I won't get home to see my wife or my kids again, or take away somebody else's ability to do the same thing.
Right, and you look at it and you see those things and you see the family, not just, and you look at the family and you see your family, but really it's everybody's family out there. It's everybody's family what you're looking at. And man, what a neat way to get, because I tell you what, you tell my wife, I'm done, I'm toast, I'm wearing it tomorrow because I can't get out the door. She'll make me put that on before my shoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Ralph, real quick, a couple things in here. So you've done safety overseas, right? In say Latin America, Central America. You've done it here in the States. Here in the States, are we above and beyond everybody else when it comes to safety, or would you say they're better than us or we're equal?
Well, you got to figure in the United States, there's a lot of people involved in like in the state of Texas, the state of Florida. When you look at compliance, you say, oh my goodness, we're going to have an OSHA inspection. However, there's only 30, 40 inspectors of OSHA in the state of Florida to go to your site to make sure that it's correct, besides the state inspectors. But, and most of the people here are pretty much saying, okay, wearing your gear, wearing everything you need to wear. Do you need to wear it? And do you have to wear it? Absolutely. That's what the rules state. However, we go to the job sites, and I go to the job sites here. I see most of the workers in shorts. but they do have boots on. They do wear their hard hats. And in Central America, in Colombia, in Panama, in Costa Rica, and in Nicaragua, where I've been to see the sites, most of those guys, they get their equipment bought by the company. They have to wear their jeans. They have to wear their steel-toed boots. They have to wear their hard hats. And some companies, even transportation companies, especially up in the mines, they have to wear long sleeves. And they have to comply. And they do. You know, the time they don't is when they get written up. And these are some things that you have to pretty much adhere to. It's a totally different aspect here in the United States. You tell the worker here, hey, you got to wear long sleeves. They're going to wear long sleeves maybe one day, but the next day they're not. You know, so it's a little lax, but they still know that it's a safety aspect. Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Ralph, you brought up one thing. We have about 3 minutes. But before we do this next thing, I want to make sure, hey, I need you on this show a couple times a month for sure, Ralphie. So make sure that you give us that opportunity. A lot of stories I imagine you have about how you made safety, you know, important to others. And what is that why from safety from you? I want to hear that side. But before we do that, maybe we can end this segment on this is, hey, talk to me a little bit about the last job you had in Panama when you brought in the last lock. I mean, how much safety, how many, I just think about that Panama Canal when they did the expansion, that had to be a safety nightmare.
Well, you figure in the 8-year span of the build of the expansion to the Panama Canal, we're talking 8 years, 24 hours a day, 3 different shifts, and you know a ton of people involved. 5,000 workers Atlantic side, 5,000 workers Pacific side. It became something that we had to start from the beginning in the protocols of safety, having enough safety officers to be able to make safeguard all these workers. We try to protect and prevent any accidents for the worker. So basically, every single day we had tailgate meetings, we had talks, and if that wasn't enough, we had to redo it again after their shift. Which those things in itself were pretty much a challenge. You know, we also had, you know, each one of them when they came and wrote their contract, they knew that it was a possibility that they could be, you know, some sort of accidents that can involve their life, which meant that they had to be safe and adhere to every single protocol that we had involved with them as far as the build. It was a challenge, not only for the people that were working there with the language, but we had all these countries coming in. We had different language barriers that we had to try to cross. And it was a challenge in itself massively throughout all these people that were involved. However, you know, we anticipated throughout the whole build, we're probably going to reach maybe 15 to 20 to 25 fatalities. In actuality, throughout the whole build in the 8 years, we only reached 5. 5 was too many. 5 shouldn't have happened. However, we definitely, you know, broke that number that we thought we would achieve, but we were way below of what actually happened.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. That's yeah. That's just.
It speaks to the possibilities of enforcing safety and making safety primary, and that's, you know, you look at it and you say, well, we lost 5, but I say, man, how many did you truly save by having all those tailgate safety meetings, having all of those protocols in place? Fantastic way to do the business. Fantastic way to get in there and do it early and make it a big primary part of the build.
Yeah, and for some of you that are watching this show, when we're talking to Ralph about, and he brings up tailgate meetings, hey, listen, we're not talking tailgating, right? We're not drinking beer, eating chips, doing barbecue and all that. We're talking safety, the most important thing we have to do, you know, in everything we do. Hey, Ralph, I wanted you to do me a favor. We're gonna sign off. We're gonna keep you, though, you know, on this segment. I like this subject right here, doing things different on safety side. Hey, Ralph, can you sign us off to the next commercial break with BCB, the safest station in the nation?
BCB is the safest station in the nation, and I watch it every day.
All right. Thank you, Ralph.